Introduction to Weeds. Consider the photo array below. Which plants are weeds? Discuss or think about it. Which plants are weeds? It depends. A weed is a plant, usually wild, that is growing in a cultivated area, i.e. your fields. A weed is any plant that is out of place and unwelcome. Therefore, all of the plants in the image can and often are weeds. However, cultivated plants growing in an area in which they are not intended to grow could also be weeds. Of the 250,000 species of plants worldwide, about 8,000, that is 3%, are classified as weeds. Each of those species has one or more of the following features. They're highly adaptable, with the potential for rapid population establishment and growth. They have abundant seed production, seed dormancy and/or long-term survival of buried seeds, vegetative reproductive structures, and finally, the ability to occupy and reproduce in a variety of settings, including those with ongoing human populations or activities. Despite their reputation, weeds serve a purpose in the ecosystem. In agriculture, they can be beneficial as they 1. Increase the amount of organic substances in the soil with their life cycle. 2. Offer an alternative host to insects, pests, and pathogens. 3. Break up soil compaction and hardpan. 4. Combat erosion. 5. Serve as a measure of the nutritional balance of the soil. And 6. Can be feed for grazing animals. If some weeds have positive impacts, why are they unwelcome in agriculture? Discuss or think about it. One of the reasons why weeds are seen negatively is their impact on crops. Like crops, weeds need water, sunlight, and nutrients. Weeds are highly successful in getting what they need to thrive. When weeds grow in or around an agricultural crop's field, they're competing against the crop for the finite amount of water, sunlight, and nutrient-rich soil in the area. This can impact the crop by stunting or preventing crop growth and/or yield, diminishing the crop yield, or attracting pests or disease vectors who will attack the cultivated crop. Given the potential challenges that weeds pose, their impact on agriculture is significant. Weeds are particularly severe in Africa due to the heat and high light intensity its geography provides. Many of the weeds facing farmers today are not native African plants. These non-native plants are known as invasive alien species, or IAS, and do not have a natural place in the African ecosystem. They seek nutrients to grow according to their original environments and are highly detrimental to cultivated crops. A 2021 study of the annual economic impact that invasive alien species have on African agriculture estimated the cost to be US $65.58 billion. The majority of the loss estimate came from labor costs. In many farms, manual or hand weeding is the primary method of preventing, treating, and controlling weeds. This is a timely, labor-intensive, and costly requirement. The cost of controlling the weeds is high, but the cost of not controlling them is even higher. Researchers who measured the impact of one season of unweeded African fields found crop yield losses of 40 to 60% cowpea, 40 to 80% of sorghum, 50% of common bean, 50 to 80% of wheat, 50 to 100% of rice, 55 to 90% of maize, 80% of cotton, 80% of groundnut, and finally 90% of cassava.